Just paint us a picture of how significant Russia is from a sales perspective to Apple.
Yeah, Apple's not, or Russia is, I should say, is not a significant part of Apple's sales overall, right? It's a small portion of their Europe sales, which I believe is their third or fourth biggest region, after the US and Asia. So we're talking probably about, low single-digit billions per year here. Who knows how long this is going to last, but I don't think the financials, especially in cases like this, are necessarily super relevant to Apple. They're relevant to shareholders because we saw the stock fall to session lows after this announcement from Apple. But for Apple as a company, it seems like this is not, related to financials for them. But this is a major announcement from the company. They are basically pulling every lever possible to stop its relationship with Russia.
Yeah, it is. I mean, certainly more symbolic than it is going to be in terms of material on the bottom line. I am curious here. It's not just about hardware sales, but all the services that we talk about that Apple has done such a great job of expanding into, that's also affected by this, correct?
It is, but I don't think Apple's a major services player by any means inside of Russia, right? In Russia, they're probably using, local applications. As you know, if you open up a new iPhone for the first time or other Apple device for the first time in Russia, you are suggested locally developed apps and services to download on your devices. So I don't think there's a big services impact there per se for Apple at this point.
Apple Pay, it was interesting. We read some stories of course, people in Russia using it and then it not working, and then you have people trying to dig for cash in their wallets. What then is the future of Apple Pay as well?
The Apple Pay issue started a few days ago in Russia. This was because of some of the sanctions that were placed on Russian banks, right? And Apple Pay obviously requires collaboration with the banks and usage of banks and credit cards and such. So that's why you saw Apple Pay stop in Russia and some other areas for people who are connected to Russian banks, even globally.
Just talk to us about how hard it is to action these steps. It felt as though we suddenly had a flood of Nike, of Snap, of Ford, all these companies coming out and making statements regarding Russia. How difficult is it to unwind these relationships and take these stances, Mark?
Nobody wants to be first, right? So after you saw the Apple announcement, you saw a few other companies come out. I believe Universal and Nike came out shortly after Apple or at the same time. I'm sure there were some behind-the-scenes discussions between, Apple and the government, maybe Apple and some of the other companies it's connected to about which stances they were going to take and felt most appropriate. In terms of Apple and what they have to do to actually make some changes like this, I don't think it's particularly difficult. So they are also removing Sputnik News and RT News, Russia Today, from app stores outside of Russia. That's essentially button pushes that Apple has to do on a server side to pull those applications. A lot of the server stuff is a few lines of code or a button press per se. A lot of it is more on the policy side, the political side, and the discussions that have to be had to get to those points, right? On the Apple online store, to pause sales, you're essentially clicking a button to stop sales. But what about all sales that were already in transit? What about people who placed orders from the Russian Apple online store yesterday or earlier today or weeks ago and their device had not been delivered yet? What happens to those orders? All the work they have to do with their export partners and shipping partners around the world. So it is not an easy decision by any means, probably from a business standpoint, and it's not very easy to pull off, but they clearly did it fairly quickly.